I want to talk a bit about helping people in this video. Now, I don't know if you've come across people who perhaps know the scriptures and use them to make their point, but they're perhaps a bit legalistic with them, and rather than recognise what the Lord's really saying through them and see the heart of the Lord in them, they just take the words and perhaps put them a bit out of context and confuse people about what they're actually saying. Now, in Matthew 6, verse 1, Jesus says, "Be careful not to do your acts of righteousness before men, to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven." Now, some people might say that means you can't do good deeds in public. I just want to say something about that. I mean, does that really mean that we mustn't ever let anyone catch us doing a good deed, or we won't be rewarded by the Lord for what we do? Well, of course it doesn't, because that would be impractical, wouldn't it? I mean, for example, would the Lord really want us to walk by somebody who'd been beaten up without helping, because stepping in to help them would draw attention to us doing a good deed? Well, we know he wouldn't, because we've got the parable of the Good Samaritan to prove that one. And in actual fact, it's not who sees that the Lord is looking at when you do a good deed, but it's your motive for doing it. Now, that was the problem with the Pharisees. They were doing their good deeds to be seen by men, for the praise of men, yet their hearts weren't right with God. If you go back to Matthew 6 and look at verse 2 to 4, you can see that. It says they were hypocrites, and they were doing their giving, etc., to be honoured by men. Now, if you're walking with the Lord, and as we go about our Christian lives, people will at sometimes see us helping people. The Lord doesn't want us to hide it. But what we do need to do, though, is keep our hearts right with the Lord and help others whether anyone's going to see or not. That shouldn't be our main focus, because our motive shouldn't be to be seen by men. It should be to do good deeds for the Lord out of a genuine desire to please God, and also to help the person that needs it. That should be our motive, not to be seen by men, or to make herself look good and the person that's being helped look bad. I think some people perhaps do that. They think, well, it makes me look good, but they're also aware that they're making someone else look bad, exposing the fact that they do need help, and that isn't right in the Lord's eyes either. So Matthew 5:14 to 16 says, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven." So what's important is that our lives give glory to God and not to ourselves.